Hello there, Internet people. It's your good buddy Rue, and this is the first part of a rare two-parter and I'll try to finish it up tomorrow night. It's been so long since I've done one of these, and I've just been in especially a trade reading binge that I need to split this up because I can't wait to do the next one because I'll keep reading more, and then it'll snowball into anarchy. First, Andrew will get up, then we'll all get up. So. Good news for you, more Rue. Bad news for you, more Rue. So here we go. It's finally over. Avengers versus X-Men. This says number 12. Let's not even pretend that that's what I'm going to talk about. Anybody who watches enough of these knows that I like fun comics. I think that there's still a place for the superhero action and absurd comics that a lot of people now want to pretend they're too snobby for, yet somehow they know exactly everything that happened in that issue that they didn't read. That being said, the AvX event just has left a horrible taste in my mouth. Not only do I love fun comics, and I'm trying to get better at this, but I am a continuity hound. And we can forget my previous episode that you can go back and look for on my YouTube channel called Avengers vs. X-Men is Wrong, where I get in this little tiny rant, 5 minutes, whatever, about how Jean Grey is never the Dark Phoenix, thus making all of the Avengers' motives and argument baseless. And this book is basically, the entire event is this whole square peg round hole metaphor that everybody wants to go off on, where Marvel does everything they can to make Scott Summers and the Phoenix Five the bad guys, except for actually making them the bad guys. That's just the conclusion they came to. The Avengers, who never, especially Captain America, never admit they did anything wrong in this event, where they actually caused everything. They brought the army to Utopia, basically an island full of battered wives who decided to defend themselves, to kidnap or murder an innocent child for a crime she hasn't committed yet. And if you want to know about whole mischaracterization, go back and reread Civil War to see how Captain America feels about imprisoning people before they've committed a crime. He took the word of a sociopathic murderer who's always wanted to bone Scott's wife as the character reference to see what they should do. And they also try to blow up the Phoenix Force right next to Earth, as if the physics wouldn't have actually put the Earth in danger, and thus creating the Phoenix Five. The Avengers caused everything, but Scott Summers is the bad guy. The Avengers brought the genocidal Scarlet Witch. They forgave her. She was forgiven because she misused the power that she never asked for and she lost control of. But Scott Summers, who misused a power he never asked for and lost control of, is in prison. Yeah, this all makes sense. Scarlet Witch kills off 90% of the mutants, or just depowers them, and she goes off and lives in the Alps as her fiance, Dr. Doom, murders Cassidy Lang. Whatever. AvX just, it's not Fear itself bad, but I don't know if I can ever reread this because it actually pisses me off. Because at the end here, I honestly have I've grown to dislike the Avengers. Like, I view them as kind of, I'm not going to hyperbolize this and say fascist Nazis, but I view them as a bunch of douchebags. And I really can't stand looking at them right now. Here's a couple things before we move on. If the next major event for Marvel, at least soon, isn't trying to figure out a way to fix the fact that the Avengers put the whole universe at risk by killing the Phoenix, the Imcron Crystal's protector, then Marvel just has thrown everything pre-Bendis Avengers out the window, and they just need to officially retcon it somehow. So, in the end, the Avengers never asked the X-Men for help, destroyed the universe's protector, and ended up going with the X-Men's plan, which was trust in hope. Scott probably wouldn't have destroyed the Phoenix because he knows what it can do, and he actually would have given good advice. The same advice Wolverine would have given, but he's a sociopathic murderer, and so he probably didn't care about the universe. Speaking of Wolverine and the X-Men 17 and 18. Say what you will about me disliking AvX. Wolverine the X-Men number 17 is by far Marvel's comic of the year. single issue that's a standalone, and what this does is explain what Dupe does for the school. I'm not going to spoil this because you really, even if you've never read Wolverine the X-Men, go out and pick up issue number 17. Jason Aaron, who I've decided can just bring out the best in any artist, and he can tailor what he's writing to their strengths. And Dupe's creator, Michael Allred, I'll pretend I pronounced that correctly. Basically, they just tell Dupe's story. This entire issue is all about Dupe, and it's awesome. You really just need to go buy this, read it, and just put it over your head and like sunbathe. Oh, put it right here and like sunbathe in its awesomeness. This is just a fantastic comic book, and you should read it. Wolverine the X-Men number 18. We get back to the AvX event. It's one of the 5,000 tie-ins that don't really matter. And really nothing in this issue matters. It doesn't move any AvX plot along. It is kind of interesting to see the whatever happened in issue 11, the end of that, where right before Scott Summers go all Dark Phoenix-y, and if that hasn't been spoiled for you yet, except for the Dark Phoenix part, what I just spoiled, I'm actually going to leave it be from the student's point of view, and basically how they react to just a very traumatic event that isn't even there, that they're seeing and hearing about, and the cuckolds are viewing telepathically, or whatever their power is. The important part of this book is a secondary story that Jason Aaron is a monster. Okay, that's all it is. That's all we can say. Jason Aaron is a monster. If you have been reading this book, and if you have read some of the books that led into it, Astonishing X-Men specifically, prepare to be pissed off. Not at the bad writing, not at a continuity error, not at any of that fanboy crap, but pissed off at how well Jason Aaron pisses you off. It's just, he's a fantastic writer, and I was physically shaken by what he did, and I had to stop reading comics for the night, but man, is he a good writer, and he is a monster. Uncanny Avengers number 1. Now let's move on to the post-AvX fall. I don't care. Again, it's hard for me to look at this because of all the Avengers and how big of douchebags they were in AvX. Spoilers, because, well, you knew this before Avengers vs. X-Men even started. We all knew this like in January. Hope restarted the X-Gene. Whoop-de-freaking-do. So now Captain America is going to pretend that he cares about mutants. Like, for 50, 60, 70 years, he's ignored Sentinels or Avengers, Friends of Humanity, concentration camps, etc., including all these threats to his teammates, basically these Uncle Tom mutants. We'll help the X-Men out when their problem is actually threatening us. We're not going to help them out when something's threatening them. It's not like they're our friends or anything. So whatever, blah, blah, blah. Thor, Havoc, Rogue, Scarlet Witch, and Cap are all in this issue doing whatever it is that they feel like doing and blaming Scott Summers for everything. Honestly, the only person in this book that I even cared about, the only person that I even consider a redeemable hero is Rogue, and that's because I don't know if Remender is doing this on purpose or if it just happened. Rogue sees through the bullcrap that Captain America and specifically Marvel has spoon-fed us because of Avengers vs. X-Men. This might be a great comic. It's Remender. It's a team book. Just based on X-Force and everything else the man's ever done that I've liked, which I'm blanking on right now because it's like almost 11, it probably will end up being a great book. And I have pre-ordered like through issue 3, but it's going to take me a while to actually be able to read any of these guys and not dislike them. But because I'm me, yes, I did spend the $6, and I did get the Deadpool variant because this is a funny cover. And then because I am having, whenever I go to shows now, I'm having people draw. His name is Dr. Barnabas Manchester IV. Thank you very much. I'm having artists draw him. I also got a blank one to put him on eventually. And someday I'll do a show showing off all my con sketches. I actually have a really cool one from David Peterson of Mouse Guard, George Perez, and I'm actually really enjoying this new aspect of my hobby. Detective Comics number 13. This is John Layman, Chew, one of the guys on Chew. First issue, and it's also the first issue of the new 52 of Detective Comics I picked up because Tony Daniel should never be allowed to write a comic book. He's a great artist, but a horrible writer. It was okay. Again, because I pre-order, I think I have at least 2 more coming before I have to really make a decision. It's an interesting take on the founding fathers of Gotham, the founding families, and rivalry between the Cobblepots and the Waynes. Basically, the Penguin wants to get rid of Bruce Wayne, so he distracts Batman for the night so he can do it. And hilarity ensues. No, not really. It was just okay. The best part of this comic was the backup, and I thought that was incredibly awesome. Not worth $3 awesome, but 4. I didn't know that. Okay, again, I pre-ordered, so I rarely look at the bill. Not $4 awesome, but the backup is well worth the read. And if it's anything like what they did with the backups before the new DC, that will eventually become the main story, and I'm looking forward to it. Batman number 13. This is actually a really cool cover. I like this. And I'm Batman. I'm the Joker. I'm Batman. I'm the Joker. We have this for a little room. We have this like big piece of bacon. Here goes. I'm bacon. It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm tired. Leave me alone. Seriously, Scott Snyder. I'm talking to you because I know you watch and we're cool. We've talked a couple of times. You signed a book for me. Go team. Could you just once write a crappy comic so I could criticize you? I really feel like that people are getting sick of me. Family show, praising you all the time. Yeah, we'll go with that. Entendre. And so just write one sucky comic, send it to me. Hell, I probably collect it already. Unless it's Superman. I'm not. Scott Snyder and Jim Lee are going to start writing a Superman comic. I'm not going to read that because Superman sucks. So that might be a horrible comic, but that's not really Scott Snyder's fault because Superman sucks. Moving on. Death of the Family starts here. The Joker's back. He's crazy, and this is creepy as hell. If you've never read Severed or American Vampire, but specifically Severed, which was, I think, an Image limited series. Yes. An Image limited series I have in the hardback here. Scott Snyder knows how to write horror. He knows how to write horror for a visual genre that's not a movie, where he actually knows how to build tension, suspense, and all that other stuff. This was a creepy comic. Death of the Family is going to be awesome. I'm not reading any of the tie-ins, so I'm just sticking with Batman. It might be going to Detective Comics. I don't know. As far as I can tell right now, you only need Batman, and you should be reading Batman. And I don't know why I should even be able to hypothetically spoil things for you because you should have read this by now. It's Scott Snyder writing Batman with the Joker in it. What the hell's wrong with you? Fables 121. This is the end of Cubs in Toyland, and that storyline is by far my least favorite Fables story yet. And yes, that is including the Great Fables crossover, which was just a big bag of farts, in my opinion. Cubs in Toyland was just awkward. It was uneven. It was mean, not only to the characters but to the readers, but not in like that Jason Aaron is a monster way where you revel in how the writer could do that. It's just that was mean. It was just bad. Like if you're collecting Fables in trade and the trade is 6 issues and it's called Cubs in Toyland, skip it. Wikipedia the storyline or wait until the next trade and the little tiny bits of information you need will be included there. Next week, but you know what? A 6 issue storyline that I really didn't like, plus the Great Fables crossover, there's been 121 issues. I'm not really going to fault Fables or drop Fables because of a couple bad issues. It's been a great run, and it's been getting a lot better. Like, there was that lull around the Great Fables crossover, but it's been getting a lot better, and one bad storyline isn't going to kill me for me, but I really don't even care about the backup stories right now. Next episode will be a bunch of trades, including Brubaker and Phillips's Incognito, the Classified Edition. 2 things. One, every single person out there who's ever watched a show, hung out with me on the Outhouses or Facebook, or knows me in real life that has ever read Incognito and didn't beat me over the head until I read it earlier than last week, I'm mad at you. And another thing, seriously, Brubaker, we need more. Like I want more now. I need more now. So until then, and this is an awesome comic, and I'll get more into it when I do whatever the next one is going to be. Later, people.